In this brand new video, you will now discover iterations in Python, using for and while loops, so you can improve the execution flow of your program. Please, do not forget to smash that like button, for the YouTube algorithm, since it does really help supporting us, and providing new free content, once a week. Are you interested to be part of this community? All the links are in the description below. Now, let's play this video. Loops in Python are an efficient method for optimizing your code, and executing multiple statements. If the same block of code has to be executed multiple times, over and over, you can put it into a loop, to perform multiple iterations, and get the same desired output. Consequently, it saves a lot of effort, and reduces complexity of the code, as well. Basically, there are two types of iteration, in programming languages. Indefinite iteration, in which the code block executes, until some condition is met. This iteration is performed using while loops, and will be discussed in the very next upcoming video. Indefinite iteration, in which the number of repetitions is specified, explicitly, and in advance. This kind of iteration is performed using for loops, and will be discussed in the next section. For loops. The for statement in Python is a bit different from what you usually use in other programming languages. Rather than iterating over a numeric progression, Python's for statement iterates over the items of an iterable, strings, dictionaries, lists, tuples and sets, or any other iterable objects. For loops are traditionally used when you have a block of code which you want to repeat a fixed number of times. The Python for statement iterates over the members of a sequence, then executes the same block each time, and in order. Do not forget to contrast the for statement with the while loop, used when the condition needs to be checked for every single iteration, or to repeat a block of code, forever. Okay, but what does it look like? And how to control the execution flow of your program, using for loops? Let's move forward, and have a look at the syntax of the for statement. For var in sequence. Statement 1, Statement 2, etc. Here is a simple declaration of for loop, in which the variable var takes the value of an item inside the sequence, and on each iteration. Loop executes all statements and it continues, until we reach the last item of the sequence. The body of loop, which includes some statements, is separated from the rest of the code, using indentation. This loop can be described entirely in terms of the concepts you have just learned about. Python does the following steps. Calls iter, to obtain an iterator for the iterable. Calls next, repeatedly, to obtain each item from the iterator. Executes the loop body, once for each item, and set the variable to the given item. Terminates the loop, when next, raises the stop iteration exception, then continues. Let's have a more practical and very simple example, so you can discover and understand how to properly use Python for loops, in your program. First, declare a list of strings, and add a few strings into this list. Colors equals red, green, blue, yellow. Then, you will iterate through this list using for statement, and print each item. For color in colors. Print color. Very simple, right? The execution will start and look for the first item in the sequence or iterable object. It will check whether it has reached the end of the sequence or not. After executing the statements in the block, it will look for the next item in the sequence. And the process will continue, over and over again, until the execution has reached the last item in the sequence. In the above example, the execution started from the first item in the list colors, and it went on until the execution has reached its last item, which is yellow. This is a very simple example of how you can use for loops, in Python. Of course, there are many other alternatives you can use, and go through any iterable object. Here is another example, when you want to iterate through every single character of a string, because a string is a list of character. Do you remember? MyString equals Python. For letter in MyString. Print letter. And here you are, you just wrote your first Python iteration, using for loops. This very simple code will iterate through a list, and print out every single item of that list. If you liked this video, please, do not forget to give a thumb up, and subscribe our channel. Digital Academy, learn free. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Like, comment, and share.